Appreciate you joining us. Good to get the win last week on Thursday night. Great environment. Thought our turnout from our students was fantastic. Thought the student section was as good as I've seen it here. And for a weeknight game, I thought the crowd in general was really good. A lot of credit to our fan base and Sound of the South, cheerleaders, everybody involved for creating a tremendous home field advantage for us Thursday night. Big win. Happy for our program and our players, and just proud of them finding a way to win a game. Offensive Player of the Week with 4 catches, 120 yards, and 3 touchdowns, Chris Lewis. Defensive Player of the Week, not the craziest stat line, had 2 tackles and 1 PBU, but was extremely sticky in coverage, Don Callis. Special Teams Player of the Week, Zach Long on 5 kickoffs, 3 touchbacks, 2 fair catches forced, and one of them really created some field position for us. Defensive Job Taker of the Week, young man who does a great job in our program in every role that he takes on is Jaden Palms. Offensive Job Taker of the Week, Robert Bruce. Special Teams Job Taker of the Week, A.Z. Williams. Nathan Harris, John Johnson, Service Award winner, Keyshawn Swanson. Keyshawn was very limited in the game, really has been the last 2 weeks. I think he'll be back up to full speed this week, but was a little bit limited in the game with a kind of a mild injury, nothing serious, but had a great approach to serving his teammates all week and just kind of helping the whole organization get ready for the game. And then Corey McCullough Spirit Award goes to Billy Gilmore, and the Workout Warrior of the Week is Dorian Jackson. So proud of the effort from the guys last week. Have a tremendous challenge to go on the road and play at Louisiana Monroe. Last time we went there was 2021. I wasn't here, but the game did not go in our favor. I believe we lost 29-13. They are a dangerous team. Their record may not be what they want it to be, but they've got good players, good coaches, and they've been in a lot of close games. They lost on a 1-point game to App State on a game-ending field goal. They lost 1 point on the road to Texas State, who I think is a really good football team and really hot right now. They played Georgia Southern close. They're really probably a better team than their record, and the last time we played in this venue, we did not win. So we have to get ready to go play a good football game to get any kind of outcome that we want. And I'm still really pushing our team to – I want to see us play – up to our standard and our best in all 3 phases at the same time. We have not quite done that, and I think our best football is still in front of us. I do not think we've played our best yet. And so if there's going to be any kind of relax in our building this week, I will really quickly address that because I am urgently wanting to see us play our best, and we have not done it. With that, we'll open up to questions.
Hey, John, it's John and Dothan. Could you give us an update on Eli Russ and what he was dealing with as far as missing the game? And also was curious, did y'all practice this past weekend, or what did y'all do over those 3 days after the Thursday game?
Yeah, so Russ got cleared today, it sounds like. Should be able to play this week. Don't really want to get into the extent of what he had, but it wasn't anything – we needed to confirm that it wasn't anything major before allowing him to go back out to play. Could he have played last week? Did he feel good enough to play at the end of the week or by game time? Maybe. He would have probably, if I would have told him, hey, it's your choice, he'd probably been like, all right, let's go. But you just want to get, these young men, their lives, while football matters and winning games matters, we make those decisions around here like they're our sons. We've got great medical professionals that either clear our guys or don't clear our guys. I have nothing to do with whether they're cleared to play. There's one thing about being cleared to play, and there's another thing about being ready to play the game the right way. But Eli should be available. Keyshawn also, I think, did not play at safety. I think he will be available. It looks like. So held them both. Keyshawn definitely could have played last week, but I just felt like it was in his best interest to hold him and protect him for that game. And then the question on what we do. So after the game Thursday, we celebrated, and then Friday morning we had a 7 a.m. We had a scheduled 7 a.m. team meeting I moved that back to 7:15. I gave him a whopping 15 extra minutes of sleep. But we came in and met at 7:15. That was as much as anything to tell them enjoy the weekend, but be safe, and then make sure you go to class on Friday. And then after that Friday 7:15 team meeting, I checked classes all day Friday till about 1 o'clock. I went some guys that need to be in class. I made sure they were in class, and so I rode around campus on my golf cart and checked a bunch of classes from 8 to about 1. And then coaching staff wise, we recruited. Friday night, high school football mainly, and then Saturday had 3 or 4 coaches go junior college recruit, and then came back and everybody player-wise was off all day Saturday though, and then we came back yesterday and kind of got into our normal flow of the game week, which is treatment, wellness check, some academic appointments, and then today will really be the first day of Louisiana Monroe game practice prep, if you will. We'll be in the normal flow.
Hey, John, it's Jamal at WSFA Montgomery. You mentioned the close losses that this Monroe team has, but looking at the wins that they also have, a win over Army, who obviously just went on the road and beat Air Force. When you talk about a team like this and you're telling your guys not to overlook them, is that maybe a game that you point to and say that this is a reason you can't overlook this team because they did beat a team like Army who just went on the road and beat Air Force?
Yeah, without question. Every week in college football, man, you get an opportunity to promote yourself or get exposed. And these guys are a quality enough team that if we do not prepare to play really well and play to our best, we will get exposed. And, they got some players that I probably can't say their numbers and who they are because they might be viewed as like tampering in this transfer portal world now. There's some players on our team that if they were here, they'd be playing a lot of football for us. And so they got good players. They got as many scholarships as we got, and they got a really good coaching staff. And I will reiterate that Army scored. I will reiterate they lost a 1 point on a last-second field goal of the app. And I will reiterate that the last time we showed up in Monroe, Louisiana as Troy University football team, the game was not won by Troy. And so every week in college football you see upsets, and it's my job to try to do everything I can to make sure our guys understand it takes what it takes. There is no shortcut, and you don't get an outcome you want by doing I talk a lot about you don't do the minimum and get the results you want. You have to do the maximum all the time, and then that may give you the chance to get the results you want, but it doesn't guarantee anything. But there is no how do I do the least I can and still win a game? You will get your brains beat in doing that in college football.
And then as a quick follow-up to that, does this speak more so of a testament to how tough the Sun Belt West is, that they've played so many close teams that, are in your division, outside of your division, so closely?
I think the Sun Belt as a whole is top to bottom ridiculously competitive. And I feel like everyone has more comparable rosters athletically than probably people recognize. In some leagues, I think, the top 1 or 2 have major halves, and the bottom, it's not near the same. This league, the difference between talent team to team, week to week, there is a ton of parity. And, yeah, there are teams that maybe have more experience or a better position group at one position or the other. But, man, I watch the tape and my eyes go to some of their dynamic playmakers, and I'm like, this team could easily have a winning record too. And they're a quality team in regards to players and coaches, and top to bottom of this league is hard. Every week, man, it's a meat grinder.
Coach Nick Brooks with WTVY down in Dothan. I feel like it's kind of a weekly occurrence, but I saw a lot of mixture with that receiving core in the South Alabama game, and you guys talk about wearing teams down. Is that something you consider in that fact? Is the fact that you can keep your fresh legs at receiver and put in just about 6, 7, 8 guys in at one time, or at any given time, I should say?
Yeah, I think we're deeper at receiver. When I got here, offensively there were 2 position groups that I felt were very thin. I felt like receiver was one. I felt like offensive line is one. I feel like we've changed that dramatically at receiver. We still need to add some guys as we recruit moving forward. Offensive line-wise, I think we're still a long way away from maybe the depth we want. But at receiver, it's anybody can burn you. You know, I think you've seen Chris Lewis have the circus catches. You've seen Deshaun. Deshaun really had some of the clutch catches last week, some third down catches. Devontae Ross has had sort of his moments in games. Jabri, Ethan Connor is back, which is exciting. You know, he had the drop against Texas State, but he had 2 catches. Landon Parker at times has made some plays. Marcus Rogers is physically one of our more impressive receivers and just hadn't quite had the opportunities maybe. Peyton Higgins has had some big plays. You know, I go back to that screen he caught against Texas State that went for, 14, 15 yards. Like, I just feel like we can distribute the ball to different guys, and you do your job, and the ball's going to find you at some point. And I think the guy I'm maybe most proud of in that group is like Deshaun's year for a senior did not start out ideally. He got 0 catches in the first 2 games, I believe. And I'm so proud of his attitude. And he stayed the course. Well, you look up, and he's started to get more and more as the season's gone. So, but I do think it's nice to be able to get the ball to different guys, and you kind of have to pick your poison a little bit.
Hey, John, is Terry Bowden calling the plays for them?
I don't think so. I think it's Coach Kubik, their offensive coordinator, offensively, I believe, is calling the plays. This is his second stint there. He was there previously. Really good football coach. I've watched some of his stuff. Was there last year. I believe he's calling the offensive plays.
What do they like to do?
Yeah, they play with some tempo at times. They got great receivers. Number 4 played against us last year. He's a big guy. He's won the week before, a couple weeks before we played him. He had played against South Alabama last year, and he went for like 200-something yards. His name's Tyrone Howell. Bud Elliott, number 0, is a big guy too. Number 3 is a slot who's quick. Number 9 is a slot who's quick. Number 1 is sort of a combination guy. Number 8 is talented. So they like to get the ball on the perimeter. The running backs are good players. The quarterbacks they've been playing are athletic, more running type players that can throw the ball but like to create and extend plays with their feet. And so space, they like to create space and RPO game and just kind of put you in some conflict, some run-pass conflict situations.
John, I have a quick question about the defense. Just, again, we've talked about it all year, your team's ability to hold teams below their average. When you guys are in film study, do you kind of identify maybe making a team one-dimensional, or is it more so these guys haven't played us yet, they haven't seen a defense like ours, and you just go out and you play your game?
Well, there's some combination of that. Like, we have an identity that is a style of play, and schematically we do some things that we're confident in that we think carry over week to week. But then I think you also have to adapt and identify who on the other team can beat you and what do they do that presents problems, and how do you maybe either take away the who or make them not comfortable with what is their best way of playing the game. And so, I talk to y'all a lot about playing my son in basketball in the driveway. He's right-handed. I make him go left, and so when he has to go left, he's not very good. When he can go to his right, he's pretty good. So I like to try to identify, who are we, number one? What are we good at? What are we not good at? And we've got a pretty good at defensive identity for the most part, and what we're good at or what we're not good at. And then just what's the other team good at in regards to what do they do and who does it.